Hey guys, Matt here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. In this second video on my How to Learn Notes on the Guitar series, we're going to be checking out the sharps and the flats. So let's get into it. So in the last video, we talked about the natural notes on both the 6th string and the 5th string, the E and the A. If you've not seen that video yet, head on to the link above where I talk about the natural notes on these two strings. So on the basis that you're feeling happy with the natural notes on these two strings, we're going to start to fill in the gaps with the sharps and the flats. These are known as accidentals. So you'll see the sharp sign or the flat sign. And what we're going to come across is a note with two names. This is known as an enharmonic equivalent. For example, if we go to our 6th string, in the last lesson we talked about F and G on fret number 3. We've got this space in between. We can either call this note F sharp. So sharp is when you raise a note by 1 fret or 1 semitone. So I've gone from F to F sharp in that instance. Or we can call it G flat. So here's G. We drop G by 1 semitone. We can call that note G flat. Which one you call it depends on the key of the song that you're working in. We won't dive into that today. For now, we just need to know that this is a note with two different names, F sharp or G flat. Moving on to the next note that we're going to come across with a sharp or a flat is between these two notes here. So if you remember, we have G on fret 3, and we had A on fret 5. That means that the note in the middle of the two is either going to be called G sharp or A flat. Again, learn the note with both of those names so that then when you're learning a song that perhaps has an A flat or it might be called a G sharp, you'll know it's there in between those two. Moving on from A, we had A on the 5th fret, we had B on the 7th fret. So we've got that space in between those two as well, so we can call that A sharp, or you can call it B flat. So we've now come across 3 notes with a sharp or a flat, or technically 6 if you call them one or the other. In terms of the actual pitch, there are 3 different notes there. So we had F sharp or G flat, G sharp or A flat, and A sharp or B flat. Now, if you remember, we talked about also the notes that don't have anything in between, which were E and F. And the other set, which hopefully you know by now, were B and C, which were on the 7th and the 8th. So that moves nicely onto C and D. So we had C on the 8th and D on the 10th. So we've got that fret in the middle of the two. So we can call that C sharp, or we can call it D flat. And that leads us on to the final note that we're going to check out, which is this one. Okay, so we had on the 10th fret, we had D. And on the 12th fret, that took us back to E. So that note in the middle of the two on fret 11, we can either call it D sharp, or we can call it E flat. So hopefully you can see there, by having learnt where the natural notes are, it becomes easier to fill in the gaps. Don't worry if you don't see them straight away. The main thing is that if you can remember where the natural notes are, it does get easier to find the in-between notes. For example, let's say we're learning a song and one of the notes we need to find, or perhaps a chord with the root note on the 6th string. Let's say that note's B flat. If you can't remember where B flat is, but you remember where B is, which was here, fret number 7 on the 6th string, all you do is then just drop one in between the B and the A. Okay, so it's just smack bang in the middle of the two. If you're learning a song and you need to find an F sharp, if you know where F is by now, which is down on fret 1, you can instantly find F sharp, which is down on fret 2. So that's the method that we can use there for the 6th string, and now we're going to do the same thing on the 5th string. So again, if you remember where all the notes are on string 5, quick recap. So A, B, C, open 2, 3, then you got D on fret 5, E on fret number 7, straight to F on fret number 8, G on fret number 10, and then you're back to A on the 12th fret. Okay, so on the basis that you remember those as well, we can start to fill in the gaps. So let's start with A and B. So we've got that fret in between the two on fret number 1. So that's either A sharp, or you can call it B flat. Next one along, we go to C on the 3rd fret, and then you got D on the 5th fret. In between the two, you got that space, so we can either call that C sharp, or we can call it D flat. Okay, moving on to the next one, we've got D on fret number 5. We have E on fret number 7. In between the two, we've got D sharp, or we can call that E flat. That leads us on to E and F, so they're right next to each other on frets number 7 and number 8. That takes us on to F and G. So in between, we've got F sharp, or you can call it G flat. And then last but not least, we've got G and A on fret 10 and 12. So the fret in between, fret number 11, we've got G sharp, or we can call that A flat. So again, just like the previous string, if you know where all the natural notes are, you can instantly find the sharps and the flats in between. So again, if you're learning a song, let's say you need to find B flat on the 5th string. If you remember where B is, which is fret 2, there's your B flat, just down 1. Let's say you need to find an E flat. E is on fret number 7, so there's your E flat directly below. So that method really requires you to know where the natural notes are first. If you're still not sure or don't know off by heart where the natural notes are, stick to that first, and then you're going to find it much, much easier to find the in-between notes, which are the sharps and the flats. Well, there we have it. I hope you found this second video on learning the sharps and the flats useful. If you found this video useful, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit the bell icon so you get notifications on all my future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Matt Mallory, and I'll see you in the next video.